What's the biggest lesson we've learned over the last 30 years? To me, my biggest lesson is communication. And unless you communicate with people on a basis of putting out a message, telling them what you're doing, keeping them informed, then your business is going to struggle. Communication is by far, to me, the biggest thing that I've learned. And while I've learned all of it, I don't know. I think there's still a lot I've got to learn. But yeah, I think communication. What about you, Rich?
Oh, a whole bunch of stuff, really. You know, as you go through life, you learn a lot. But I remember a businessman, and he wasn't an estate agent, he was Trevor Jones.
Oh, yeah.
And we just started the business, and I was at his daughter's wedding, and he came up to me and he said, "Oh, you're doing well, we should cofio dalati." And he emphasised dalati to me, and I remember it was kind of simple advice, what does it mean? But I reflected over it over the years, and it's come to me that it means stick with it, but not in a stubborn way, just stick with it, you know, and it'll come good.
It's something similar to consistency, isn't it? That you've got to do things consistently, because if you chop and change or whatever, but if you do it consistently over a period of 6 months, 12 months, whatever, then that consistency, providing you're doing the right things, obviously, has got to pay dividends.
Yes, and I can only say dalati as a phrase. It means stick with it, but it means in business you have to be resilient. But dalati, but not in a boring, stubborn way, but in a, I suppose, enthusiastic way.
Yeah. And that's probably how you meant it, wasn't it? One of the phrases I hate is practice makes perfect. And I always say look, I've got a very poor golf swing. I can practice that swing forever and a day, but it'll never get better. It'll never be perfect because I'm doing it the wrong way. So I think the whole basis of it is we've got to get things right. The foundations have got to be there in order to be able to build on it to get to that perfection. But and I think the other thing is that, you know, that I found that running a business, I think that the culture's got to be right. That you've got to have, you know, you take how many people work for us for 10, 15, 20 years in our business, and people, if you speak to the majority of people, I think most people say, yeah, we enjoy working within the company.
Yes, that's something I can take great pride in being part of that.
Yeah.
Because it's not down to us, it's down to the people who have worked with us.
Yeah.
And while we can say that at any given time we've got a fluctuation in staff, it could be between 50, I think it was up to 70 plus sometimes, is that there's been a lot of people that have been with us and wanted to have a career or start a career, or have come with us for some business experience and have gone on to other things. Must be approaching, you know, 300-400 now, isn't it? You know, really.
Those years, wow, never even thought of it like that. I always get the ones of that, and I can think of many examples, but people come in and say they're going to join the police force, or they're going to go teaching, or they want to start their own business and whatever. And I think the one thing I've always said to them is, look, you've got to look after number one first. It's good, you've got to look after yourself, because if you don't, no one else is going to do that. But once you got that, and I've never held it against anyone who wanted to leave us, provided that I could see they were going to do, you know, improve themselves and get on, you know. And we're still in touch with those people today, and they remember working for us with fond memories, I think. I would hope so.
The size of the companies, you can take great pride. I can always remember when somebody rang up and asked to speak to Barry.
Yeah.
And I corrected them, well, which Barry? Well, it's Barry. How many Barrys have you got? Well, we've got 3, all in this office.
It's strange, isn't it? But I think, communication, culture, all those sort of things that throw away things that you learn in leadership and everything. But I think we've just evolved it as the company's evolved. We've just evolved with it.